Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn once again for the podcast, talking college football, Auburn football, SEC football in general. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. All right, got some breaking news down in Florida. As a matter of fact, Florida State coach Willie Taggart has been pretty much trouble since he arrived on the campus of Florida State University. Came in making a lot of promises, thought that he would be able to turn some things around. It was actually his dream job. He left a pretty ideal situation at Oregon, finished his first year 7-5. He did not stick around for the bowl game, wound up taking the trip back to his home state of Florida, where he is from, Bradenton, Florida. Was a pretty good quarterback at Western Kentucky University. And looked like he was going to have a promising career at the Power 5 level. Florida State was definitely excited to bring what they presumed was a lot of energy, a lot of ingenuity. The offense was going to get on track. But when you think about Willie Taggart, it just never translated. The words and the promises just never translated. His teams tend to play uninspired, surrendering games in the second half, which is indicative of, lack of discipline, lack of drive for this particular football team. Following a 27-10 loss to Miami, that was the final straw. Just haven't been very competitive, just haven't really shown any promise, especially when you talk about recruiting from the ground up. Usually you would think in Florida, a lot of guys, really want to play football for Florida State, Florida, or the University of Miami, but just couldn't get the guys to come to Florida State. And then if they did come, just didn't play on a very high level. But it's very unfortunate, for Willie Taggart. I think, sometimes you can take on a little bit too much. And I think this is definitely a classic case of, I think Willie Taggart thought it was going to be a lot easier to recruit at Florida State than it turned out to be. I think he was definitely in over his head in a lot of cases, especially when you talk about the expectation of the Florida State program. You're talking about a national championship contending program, and for them to be embarrassed by Clemson and Miami, it's just not going to cut it for Florida State. Matter of fact, I'm a former Florida State fan myself, and one of the reasons that I did like Florida State was that they were just constantly, always competitive, and always in the running at some point of the season for national championship, definitely ACC championship. Now, I was actually a big-time Florida State fan during the independent era of Florida State, but even still, Florida State is one of those programs like Michigan, Notre Dame, Miami, Alabama, not quite that high, but Florida State is a team that is accustomed to playing with a lot of pride and a lot of moxie, and just not accustomed to just getting rolled over. So the Willie Taggart, very brief Willie Taggart era at Florida State has come to a screeching halt after a 27-10 loss to Miami last night. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. As always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.